Hi guys, Mike here over in Taiwan. So taking some time off, I went over to the university today, just hanging around, and it started to do a little bit of spitting rain. So I did kind of step away from the university. I was asking people like whether it was going to rain or not, and they told me that it wasn't. But I guess I don't want to say that I have an eye for that, but there's some things that I'm good at and something that I'm not good at. One is that I'm not really good at temperature. If you tell me like what's the temperature, I'm like always like, well, what does that feel like? I don't know, and maybe I don't really care, but that's okay. Anyway, so I just want to talk a little bit about some of the things I've been thinking about. Well, one of them is like I guess skills, and it's weird about like the skills that you have. There's a saying actually about that you succeed at the things that you're good at, not the things that you're not good at, right? And yeah, it's kind of like pros and cons though, because there's some types of skills that you might learn that maybe you're not really good at them in the beginning, so it's kind of like what is it that you're not good at, and what can you focus on. Maybe you might say, okay, well, I'm not really that good at English, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give up on English. You can work hard at it, and especially if you're like living in an English speaking country, then eventually you can get better and better. As for me, I'm like, I'm living in Taiwan, so I need to probably work on my Mandarin more. I should do that like probably every day, and which I haven't been doing that. And I don't want to make the excuse that I don't have time, because everybody has the same 1,440 minutes a day, right? And you choose to do things like to waste time, like take a nap. But if you're tired, you're tired. Eat snacks, go watch TV, wait in lines. There's all these things that I think there's probably like in your entire life. You're probably going to be spending maybe like 5 years. From that's the amount of time like cumulatively of like waiting in line. So it's like kind of sad. It's weird right now that there's kind of all these skills that you can learn online. There's actually some websites, they have like free courses that you can do. And I probably should like look at some of these courses too. The only thing is that they get you to pay for the certificates, and are those certificates like really worth the paper that they're written on? I don't know. Because like if you show up to some job and say like, hey, I did this free certificate course online, they're probably going to say, well, so what, right? Obviously these days, if you're going to be going to university, that is hopefully still something, right? Is it necessarily going to be in the future? I don't know. But if you want to make, people told me that if you want to actually like make lots of money, then you have to go into business for yourself. But that's another thing. But all the skills basically that you need to know about anything are like all online. And I think some things that are probably going to be more or less more useful in the future is ethical cyber hacking. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. I actually had a friend of mine that was telling me about how he has this like program or something that as long as you can like stick a keyboard into some computer, you can like go hack their information and blah blah blah. And that to me it's a little bit scary, the fact that the access to that information is so easy, but at the same time I think that a lot of us are just really oblivious to like what is actual security, right? And people, they can just grab your information. There's actually some weird device too that all they have to do is they need to scan or like touch your wallet, and they can grab your credit card number and all your information, stuff like that, right? So and I think they're probably using that a lot in Europe. These like, I don't know, in tech criminals or whatever, but I don't want to be like too pessimistic, and I've never really encountered anything like that. In Taiwan, we're really lucky, because you could probably just leave your laptop somewhere for an hour and like nobody's going to take it. Place like Canada or like maybe in France, like you leave that for maybe like 10 minutes and go to the bathroom, your laptop's gone. But some people, they don't think about consequences, and in Taiwan it's kind of like, well, if somebody goes and steals your laptop, then where are they going to go? So there's that. And I think that for the most part, a lot of people, they just pride themselves like on this island, the fact that there's some semblance of honesty and respect that still resides here. So if that's not something that's common, or if that's not trendy or something in the world, and I don't care, then that's because I choose to live in Taiwan. I want to be able to go outside at 4 o'clock in the morning, go get myself a sandwich over at 7-Eleven, and just not think about anything, right? So, and I hope that you guys are exactly the same, because that's, you got to choose where you live, and you got to, love where you are. And if you don't, then you can always change it. So anyways, guys, this is Mike, and this is my vlog for today. I'll see you guys later. Bye.